Hello and welcome to this podcast from The Light Review. If you've been following this series, you'll know that we are now three issues into our conversations with Xicato. And today we're going to the heart of it. And I'm welcoming Nick Gibbs, who's the Sales Director for UK and the Nordic area.
Hi, everyone.
And Tom Howe, who's VP Sales. Is that all the Americas, Tom?
That is correct. North and South America. So it's again, it's like Nick, big territory.
Now, the name Xicato is synonymous with good stuff. We know these guys do good lighting and have done good lighting for many years. One of the reasons for this emphasis, if you like, on where Xicato is there's lots of interesting and exciting things happening within the business. But I did ask Nick if he would give us a bit of history, because I do feel that when someone's been around for long enough, we sometimes forget where the thing started.
You still have one, John?
I have, yeah. It's an old XSM. I don't think it quite passes muster these days, does it?
Well, it's still in installation. It's still going strong.
Oh, hey,
10 years later. So
there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. The only scary thing you get is when you realise how much better the stuff that you're doing today is. So anyway, I ferreted that out from my little store under the stairs. Nick, it's with you. Give us a reminder of how Xicato kicked off and what the aims and ambitions were, what's brought us up to here.
Yeah, absolutely, John. Thank you. A lot of you know that are watching this, but there are a lot of people that don't know as well. So Xicato was founded in 2007 in San Jose in California. From there, we produced the initial module, which was the XSM, which you've just shown to people, John. And that was a module that we produced out to be kind of a true halogen replacement in an LED format back in the day. The product itself, we were trying to set the industry's benchmark, so to speak, for today, for the initial color and obviously the lumen maintenance. But more so on the color, John. If you know anything about LEDs, which I know you do get color shift over time with product. One thing that Xicato wanted to actually introduce and make was a product that we could warrant the color, so no color shift over its warranty period. So that was the first module that we brought out. It was aimed at galleries and museums. And of course, Xicato have gone from strength to strength since then. Now we do all projects from retail, offices, schools, hospitals, commercial properties, so a lot more than just the galleries and museums that we used to be known for.
You've actually been probably one of the major people who have forced the hand of people like me as the specifier and the designer. That if you've got something as good as this, you're not just going to keep it for the museums and for the galleries. You're going to put it, first of all, it's going to end up in the high-end retail and hospitality, and it's not going to be very long before it starts to drift broadly across the whole of the sector, which of course is exactly what we've seen. Explain to us the way that you got the light out of the module. What was more or less unique to the way you have done it. Can you explain why it's different to so many of the other products that we see?
So the majority of LED products you see today on the market are chip on board. And what that means is you have a substrate, you have LED dye that are placed on the substrate, and then you have a phosphor that's laid directly over the LED chips. Now, what Xicato did, we came up with something which is obviously patented, which is a corrected cold phosphor technology. And what we do there is we actually have the substrate with the LED, but then we have a mixing chamber and a remote phosphor device. And obviously we cool the phosphor to get it down to the same TC measurement temperature as the actual base of the product. And what we do there is we actually, by cooling the phosphor, just to let you know that phosphor degrades after 90 degrees. So when you look at a typical chip on board today, if you were to put a thermal imaging camera on the front of a COB product, you're probably going to get about 125 degrees on the phosphor. So what Xicato did with the remote phosphor and the chamber is we corrected the phosphor cooling so that we adjusted it down to the TC temperature, which is generally about 70 degrees these days on a fixture when they design in. What that did then, it made certain that the phosphor wasn't degrading from the day one when you switch it on. And that's how we were able to give the warranty for the color consistency.
Within that fantastic technical performance was a big shift, I think, for you guys to move from what was essentially a medium beam kind of performance. That particular module came out of a downlight, so a very general light. But you've actually got yourself now a fairly, a decent sort of spotlight beam, haven't you, with the smaller module?
Yeah, for sure. So the light emitting surfaces that we do on the remote phosphor product, the smallest is 9mm, and then the other is 19mm LES. So with the 9mm and a good optic, which you see on the market today, we can get down to like a 10-degree beam from the actual device. If you look now onto the other products that we do, so we do a COB. We're actually doing a 4mm LES now, so we're talking sub 10-degree beams.
Wow, that's impressive. Tom, thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Nick, I hope it's as sunny up there as it is down here. So have a lovely evening. We'll speak again soon, I'm sure. And to everyone who's been watching this, thank you very much for your time. If you want to get in touch with us, you know all the addresses. So thanks very much, and goodbye for now.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, John. Take care.
A pleasure.